What is the future of project management? When I searched this question from practical perspective and research perspective, I found that we need more strategic project managers than ever. But the answer is not as simple as it looks. What it says is that we need to reinvent the project management. Yes, reinvent the project management. We need to look beyond the traditional theories of project management. And when I say look beyond the traditional theories, it also covers agile project management. Right now, everybody is talking about agile project management and blindly jumping into the bandwagon of agile project management, which looks like some fashion to me. The solution, we need to adopt the management consultants approach. They, whenever they face any problem, any situation, what they do is rather than jumping into the solution, they try to find the framework and model and then get the result from that framework and model. Same way, we need project managers who understand and knows and practice the frameworks and models. Unfortunately or fortunately, we have more than 1 million project managers with knowledge areas and processes. Let's suppose we talk about the strategy development. We have Porter's 5 framework when we compete in an economical environment. We have Blue Ocean strategy when we want to build a differentiation model. We can use design thinking when we want to build a capability. We can use ends of box when we want to compete through growth perspective. We can use balance scorecard when we want to track our strategic performance. You can see we have different models to develop a strategy for different situations. Same way, we need to understand the frameworks and models instead of tool techniques and outputs. You see, uh, tell me, very honestly, tell me, how many of you actually know about the ambiguity and uncertainty framework by Michael 3? This model helps us to classify our initiative, that is it a project or an agile project or a complex project or a program or a radical program. What about complexity assessment tool by Harvey Miller or NTCP or Diamond model by David Chenard? They help us to identify or quantify the need of project management. Why not design thinking for gathering the requirement or understanding the requirement from the end user perspective? What about system thinking or system engineering to map the requirement? Do you know that complex engineering projects and defense projects heavily dependent on system engineering perspectives? We all talk about constraints, resource constraints, schedule constraints, cost constraints. Why not we use theory of constraints by Goldratt or critical chain method to identify the buffers that we need to finalize our schedule baseline? Risk management. Everybody is in love with risk management, but most of them are not calibrated risk experts. Why don't we use human calibration method to identify or quantify our risk? Why not we use reference class forecasting by Bent Flyberg to de-bias our optimism? So, same way, stakeholder. Stakeholder is a new buzzword in project management area. Why don't we use the corporate diplomacy framework by Heinz Vitold, that how we are going to build relationship, how we are going to differentiate our internal or external stakeholders. Same way, we all talk about performance, but we see performance from the perspective of time and cost. Why don't we develop our balanced scorecard types, KPIs, and matrices for our project? So you see the gap. It's a gap between a strategic project manager and technical project manager. It is the gap between the current project manager and the future project manager. It is the gap between the project manager who uses the framework and model versus the project manager who uses the inputs and outputs and tools and techniques. When I do my project management and program management courses, I guide my team, my participants, that how to use these specific frameworks along with the traditional content so that I can elevate them to become a strategic project managers. Tell me, tell me honestly, how many of the framework that I just talked about you knew it or you were using for your project? I'm waiting for your inputs.